The tennis world is in absolute shock. Eala has just done the unthinkable. The Filipina tennis sensation has completely humiliated Olympic gold medalist Qinwen Zheng in the first round of the $1.64 million Mubadala DC Open. This was not a victory. This was a demolition. This was a statement. This was a young woman announcing to the entire tennis world that she is no longer a rising star, she is a force to be reckoned with. Nearly 3 years ago, these two players met in the semifinals of the 2023 Asian Games. On that day, an 18-year-old Eala fought with everything she had, saving multiple match points and pushing the top-seeded Zheng to the limit. But in the end, exhaustion got the better of her. Zheng won the gold. Eala settled for bronze. And that loss haunted her for years. But tonight everything was different. Tonight Eala was the higher-ranked player at world number 28, while Zheng, who has been struggling with injuries, had plummeted to number 123. But rankings don't tell the full story. Zheng is a former world number 4, a Grand Slam finalist, and an Olympic champion. She is a player who can beat anyone on any given day. And yet Eala made her look ordinary. She played with power, precision, and confidence. She took the ball early. She dictated the rallies. She neutralized Zheng's booming serve and heavy forehand. And she demolished the Olympic champion in a way that left the entire tennis world speechless. Stay with me. Because this is a story of redemption. This is a story of a young woman who refused to give up. And this is a story that will make every Filipino proud. Philippines tennis. When the Washington Open draw was released, Eala was handed what many considered a nightmare scenario. The Filipina tennis star, who had just climbed to a career-high world number 28 after her historic Wimbledon run, was pitted against none other than Zheng Qinwen in the first round. On paper, the matchup looked favorable for Eala. She was ranked number 28, while Zheng had plummeted to number 123 following a right elbow injury that required surgery and forced her to miss significant time. Zheng has been on a career slump since peaking at world number 4 in June 2025. She fell out of the top 100 following a first-round exit at the French Open and was beaten again in the opening round at Wimbledon. Zheng entered Washington on a wild card, still trying to regain her old form after her injury setbacks. She had reached the quarterfinals of the Athens Open the week before, showing signs of a resurgence. But despite those setbacks, Zheng's pedigree was undeniable. She is a former world number 4. She reached the final of the 2024 Australian Open. She won the 2024 Paris Olympics gold medal. She is a 5-time WTA champion. Her resume is stacked with achievements that most players can only dream of. But there was something else that made this draw so daunting. Something personal. Something that had been haunting Eala for nearly 3 years. The two players had met before in the semifinals of the 2023 Asian Games in Hangzhou, China. It was a match that tested Eala's limits. The then 18-year-old Filipina fought back from a 2-5 deficit in the second set. She saved multiple match points. She forced a deciding set. She even took a 3-1 lead in the third set. And then fatigue caught up with her. She had played doubles the day before. She had given everything she had. And she simply ran out of gas. Zheng won 6-1, 6-5, 7-6-3. Eala settled for the bronze medal. Zheng went on to win the gold. That loss haunted Eala for 3 long years. It was a reminder of how close she had come. It was a lesson in the importance of physical conditioning. It was a moment that shaped her into the player she is today. Now, almost 3 years later, Eala finally got her chance at redemption. Eala is a different player now. She is ranked number 28. She has beaten the defending Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek. She has proven that she belongs at the highest level. The stage was set for a rematch that would define both players' seasons. And Eala was ready. From the very first point, it was clear that Eala had a game plan. And she executed it to perfection. Zheng Qinwen is known for her booming serve and her ability to dictate rallies from the baseline with powerful ground strokes. Her heavy topspin forehand often pushes opponents out of their preferred hitting zones, allowing her to control points. She has added 26 aces in her last 3 matches on hard courts, averaging 8.7 per match. Eala knew she couldn't afford to let Zheng dictate the play. If she allowed the Olympic champion to settle into her rhythm, she would be in trouble. So she took the ball early. She flattened out her ground strokes. She hit deep to disrupt Zheng's rhythm. It worked brilliantly. Zheng, who was still trying to regain her old form after her injury, was forced into hitting from lower positions. Her shots lacked their usual depth and penetration. She was producing shorter, higher bouncing replies that fell perfectly into Eala's preferred strike zone. The Filipina's consistency from the baseline made the difference against the Chinese players' ups and downs. Eala's movement was another key factor. She was everywhere on the court, chasing down balls that seemed destined to be winners. Her footwork was sharp. Her anticipation was on point. She made Zheng work for every single point. Her backhand, always a weapon, was especially effective. She used it to change direction, to hit sharp angles, and to keep Zheng off balance. She also mixed in slices and drop shots to keep Zheng guessing. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of Eala's performance was her mental strength. She did not get overwhelmed by the occasion. She did not let the memories of her 2023 defeat affect her. She played with the confidence of someone who knew she belonged. As one analyst noted, the consistency of the Filipina could make the difference against Zheng's ups and downs. This match was a testament to Eala's growth as a player. She had learned from her past mistakes. She had developed a game plan that could neutralize even the most dangerous opponents. And she had the mental fortitude to execute it under pressure. Eala's coach, Joan Bosch of the Rafa Nadal Academy, has been instrumental in her development. Under his guidance, Eala has transformed from a promising junior into a legitimate top 30 player. This victory was about so much more than just advancing to the next round. It was about redemption. Nearly 3 years ago, Eala had walked off the court in Hangzhou with her head held high but her heart broken. She had come so close to a gold medal match. She had pushed Zheng, the top seed, to the limit. She had even managed to take a set off the Chinese star, the only player in the entire tournament to do so. But she had fallen short. That loss had been a turning point in her career. It had taught her about the importance of physical conditioning. It had shown her the level she needed to reach to compete with the best. And it had motivated her to work harder than ever before. Eala had been just 18 years old at the time. She had played doubles the day before and was simply exhausted in the third set. Zheng, older and more experienced, had managed to outlast her. But tonight there were no excuses. Eala was fit. She was focused. And she was ready. The victory was a powerful statement to the tennis world. It proved that Eala is no longer the same player who lost that Asian Games semifinal. She has grown. She has improved. She has evolved into a player who can beat anyone on any given day. For the Philippines, this victory is a moment of immense pride. Eala had already made history by becoming the first Filipino to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam. Now she was proving that her success was not a flash in the pan. She was here to stay. The rematch with Zheng was not just a tennis match. It was a statement. A declaration. A moment of triumph that will be remembered for years to come. And it was a testament to Eala's character, resilience, and unwavering belief in herself. The victory over Zheng Qinwen is a massive milestone in Eala's career. Let us break down what it means. First, it is a psychological breakthrough. Eala has finally exorcised the demons of her 2023 Asian Games loss. She has proven that she can beat Zheng on the biggest stage. This will give her immense confidence heading into the rest of the season. Second, it validates her ranking. Eala is now ranked number 28 in the world. She has climbed rapidly over the past year. But some critics might have said she was overachieving. This victory over a former world number 4 and Olympic champion proves that she belongs in the top 30. Third, it sends a message to the rest of the field. Eala has now beaten 2 Grand Slam champions and Olympic medalists in the past few months, Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon and now Zheng Qinwen in Washington. The tennis world is taking notice. Fourth, it gives her momentum. The Washington Open is the first stop of her North American hard court swing. This victory will give her massive momentum heading into the Canadian Open in Toronto, the Cincinnati Open, and the US Open. Fifth, it earns her valuable points. Eala has very few points to defend from last year's hard court campaign. Every win in Washington will add fresh points to her tally and help her climb even higher in the rankings. Sixth, it proves her physical fitness. There were questions about whether Eala was fit enough to compete after her 2-week break. She had withdrawn from doubles with Venus Williams, fueling speculation about a possible injury. But this victory proved that she is in peak physical condition. With the demolition of Zheng Qinwen now complete, Eala's focus shifts to the next challenge. The road ahead is long, but it is also filled with opportunity. Eala's second-round opponent will be defending champion Leylah Fernandez of Canada, who defeated Mubadala in the first round. Fernandez is the 7th seed at the Washington Open and won the tournament in 2025. The Canadian left-hander is a Grand Slam finalist, having reached the 2021 US Open final. She has a 1-0 head-to-head record against Eala, having defeated her in straight sets at the Stuttgart Open in April 2026. A potential match against Fernandez would be a battle of 2 of the WTA Tour's brightest young left-handers. It would be a chance for Eala to prove that she is ready to compete for titles. Beyond Washington, Eala will compete in 2 more WTA 1000 tournaments before the US Open. First, there is the National Bank Open in Toronto, Canada, which runs from August 2nd to 13th. Eala will have a first-round bye there, which already guarantees her 10 ranking points and gives her a chance to arrive rested for the rest of the tournament. Then comes the Cincinnati Open, another WTA 1000 event which runs from August 13th to 23rd. This is the final major tune-up before the US Open. The ultimate goal, of course, is the US Open. The final Grand Slam of the season runs from August 30th to September 13th in Flushing Meadows, New York. Eala is tipped to earn a main draw entry and will be looking to surpass her second-round finish from last year. Eala is defending just 70 points until the US Open. She has an excellent opportunity to break into the top 20. And with the support of the Filipino community behind her, there is no limit to what she can achieve.